We do have some other new little tidbits about the NX, and these come from GameStop executives. I don't know if you guys saw the quote this week. This comes from an investor call. One executive did confirm that it will have physical media.
Yep.
There were some rumors about it that it would be a digital-only console, right?
Yeah.
The quote is, "It will have physical media. We will play a role in it. Our pre-owned business will also play a role." So we're excited about that.
GameStop.
They're still planning on selling used NX games.
The rumor is carts instead of discs.
So they were asked about that, and they did not confirm or deny, but commenting on the possibility of there being cartridges, GameStop said, "The only difference between discs and cartridges would be on the refurbishment and pre-owned side, and actually cartridges are much simpler to refurbish and repackage." So there's somewhat a little bit of an advantage if it went that direction.
Yeah, so if you scratch them, it doesn't matter.
Even now, on the front page of IGN.com at this very moment, though not at the moment perhaps as you're watching, but the moment we're filming this, is our NX Rumors page where somebody on NeoGAF found some trademark filings that are, and he's comparing trademark filings for games that are on Wii U, where they specifically mention game discs. Trademark filings for games that are on 3DS, which specifically mention game cartridges. And a trademark filing for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild that says game discs and game cartridges. So, which, since that's a Wii U and NX targeted platform. So cartridges, now that word has a negative connotation now, but it shouldn't, because the way...
No, it's like an SD card.
Yeah,
like,
now the way that... It used to be that, that they were...
Don't think of like an N64 cartridge, right?
Yeah, we used to think they were, they used to be more expensive, more complicated to make, cost more, and could hold less. None of those things are particularly true, at least not to the degree that they once were anymore. It doesn't cost nearly as much to get tons of storage out of them, so I don't think we need to be frightened.
Yeah, I mean, in the PS1 era, it was like, I think, what, 5 cents to press a disc, and it was like $10 to make a cart. Like, it was just insane.
Yeah, and I think
it killed that concept.
We're going to have a much more favorable coefficient on that end for Nintendo. I'm sure it's not as cheap as making optical discs still, but the capacity versus cost has gone down for that kind of
and it helps with load times, it helps with all kinds of stuff.
Yep, and it helps if you have a portable console that's a hybrid, like we keep hearing about.
Yeah,
have the ability to take it with you and go.
I think that's what it is. I think it's a console and a handheld in one. And
I still like the idea of
disc
that.
And carts.
Finally, some good news for Nintendo. GameStop execs are apparently very bullish on the system. The quote is, "Should the new NX perform only slightly better than the Wii U, it would still generate $2.7 billion of incremental sales over the first 2 years. Should it perform at even half the level of the Wii, it would generate $7.5 billion in incremental sales over that time frame."
God, the Wii just destroyed the Wii U, didn't it?
Oh no, the Wii is one of the best-selling video game platforms of all time. Nintendo would commit murder for half the sales of the Wii. Yeah, it's an extraordinarily high number, even at half. I mean, it's
picturing Reggie as Negan from The Walking Dead.
Absolutely. No, it's an incredible number. The popularity of the Wii and the DS, and the fact that they coexisted, they owned the world for a few years there.
But the takeaway is that I don't think the NX has to do particularly that much better than the Wii U for Nintendo to stay in business.
Yeah.
Right? So it's
it's
not like they're like risk of like going out of business.
No, I don't think Nintendo's going out of business. They have more money than God. Even now, they're diversifying across a lot of places that make sense for them to diversify. They're getting into the toy business. They're getting into the amusement park business. They're getting into a lot of places where
Still
Nintendo...
has mobile games coming.
You've got the mobile games coming. You've got the licensing of these beloved characters. Nintendo is not going to go bankrupt. Not for a very, 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 very long time.
Yeah, I'm worried the video game audience is never coming back. I mean, they lost them. They lost them to iOS and Android.
I think that there is some validity to the fear. I don't think it's predetermined, but I do think that your perspective on that has merit.
As a company, they'll be fine. They'll be fine for decades. But
their audience grew up. They weren't able to grab the new young audience. They don't have current 10-year-olds.
Yeah, I mean, Damon, you see it. You have nieces and nephews. We all have nieces and nephews that don't know or care about Nintendo.
Like they're almost banking on the nostalgia of us, right? The 30-year-olds now who grew up with our NES.
It's not to say they can't recapture that audience. Marvel and DC did it. Yeah. Like when I was growing up, my dad had grown up with superheroes. I didn't really grow up with the same superheroes as him.
Yeah.
But now every kid loves Iron Man and Thor.
And same thing with Star Wars, for example, I think. But another thing that I think we're forgetting, because we're a slightly different age than another group, we talk about nostalgia. Wii and DS are going to be nostalgic for an entire new generation of consumers who are just now coming into their maximum purchasing power. If Nintendo can grab those two
that's a marketing huge...
No, but I mean, you have these two immense former Nintendo audiences out there who just now are getting old enough to buy their own stuff. If Nintendo figures out the right way to hook them, Yeah, they're going to make a fortune.